Hi, this is Sacred Erotic, Sacred Sexuality and Ascension with Gila and Thank you for tuning into this podcast. I'm super excited today. I just received Bringers of the Dawn, Teachings from the Palladians by Barbara Marciniak. I know many of you might have read this, or some of you who haven't read this, please take a look. If you're into, you know, otherworldly information, you know that you are here for a purpose, and you have tuned into something that you're not quite sure what it is. I would definitely recommend this book. She wrote this quite a while ago. This was written in, I think, 1992, sorry. And I've heard of it recently, and I finally decided I'm going to read it. Why am I bringing this up? I just received it yesterday, and I read about, let's see, like 8 chapters. And, it was hard for me to put it down, but I needed to sleep. And I realized I was going to download more information. So something I wanted to talk about today are feelings, emotions. This song that Sting sings, "Be Still My Heart," Be still my beating heart. He says, logic has drowned in a sea of emotions, one of the part of his lyrics. And I really feel that, my work is all about love. Those of you who don't know me, I am a mentor. I am a spiritual heart guide and a writing empowerment coach. I'm a poet. I'm an author. I've helped women who have been in chronic trauma for many years and have stuffed down their emotions and are really, weren't in a place of balance. And together we uncover, their universal wisdom and their heart map. And through that process, they bloom and grow into the beings that they are desiring to become. And that has been my own process. And it was really through the trust of my emotions that I found this depth, of my own soul and my own calling and my intuition. And it really came through sexuality. So I wanted to read this poem of mine from my book, Surreal Love, Kundalini Awakening Poetry, that you can purchase on any online book retailer, doing a promo now for 99 cents, and the paperback as well. So the poem is called Feelings. He touched my skin lightly like the morning sun's rays, shedding light gently on my brown body. Perceived electric pulses shocking me like lightning flashing in the night sky. Nerves heightened and my senses alert, our eyes ignited. We undressed each other with our clothes on. As the sexual tension continued to heighten, we slowly caressed. Our lips submerged, our bodies melted. The fire inside stoked and the smoke signaled the unending volcano within. My breasts erect, my pussy wet, the tenderness oozed from my heart. The infinite love that I suppressed connected with the oneness of the universe. My being transcended from its slumber and emerged into the light. Sensations massaged my heart and my emotions flooded out, revealing the beauty within. So I really would just like you to feel into that. I'll just take a breath. If you want to take a couple of breaths with me. And I'm called now to go into prayer. So I'm calling in our light teams, God, Source, Universe, to bless this recording and to allow from our heart spaces to connect wherever you are, to open up to the divinity and wisdom within you, and to help you to take your next step, wherever that might be, wherever you might feel it in your body, in your heart, in your soul. Oh, and so it is. So in my previous podcast, was talking about, breathing and stillness and prayer and how things come spontaneously. We've talked about disrupting patterns. And it just felt really called today after reading Barbara Marciniak yesterday, how it's emotions, emotions are instruments, she says, that the emotions are like tickets that can get you places and plug you in. You are incredibly rich if you would only realize how wealthy you are with your emotions. She goes on and she talks also about sexuality. She also says discernment through feelings. You can really understand, she says, as you use the solar plexus area to determine what is going on, you will learn discernment through feeling. And I feel like that's really, really true. Like I have become more and more connected to my emotions, as my previous poem was sharing, with feeling, and it was sexual desire, and it was just this knowing and the opening of the heart, and even anger. She talks about anger, and anger is a very important emotion if you've been in many abusive situations, especially chronically, and you haven't even realized it until after the fact, like I have. And it was just that bubbling up of anger and being able to transmute it and use it as power for myself. It really opened up into my self-confidence to know that I can express my emotion without blame. But going back into sexuality, sexuality has it's unlimited power and creation. We all know that sexuality is creation, but it's not just the creation of a child, it's the creation of yourself. It's this like unending opening of so many facets of who you are, and expressing that unabashedly, like with confidence, as a woman, as a man, exploring that template. We've been in a variety of different distorted masculine and feminine templates that have disrupted our ability to connect, in terms of intimacy, in terms of physicality, in terms of our, unending life force energy. All of these are contained in sexuality and in everything that we do. I think actually sexuality fuses all parts of ourselves, because we can express in ways that we can't speak, in ways that we can't paint. We can express through our feelings, and it's so charged in romantic relationships, because there's that additional element. And I feel the way to access that is through our opening of our heart space, of our womb space. For men, the sexual center, it's just that opening of that sacral chakra. For me, especially if you read my poetry book, you're going to read a lot of the bulk of it is erotic. And because that's what helped me to open up all of my chakras. And it goes beyond, Barbara Marciniak talks about this, it goes beyond the 7 chakras that we're familiar with, and includes 5 more. So now it's 12 chakras. 5 of them are outside of the body, below and above. And as you access that, you access so much information that is available to you. So I am, this is all about this. This book was just so, it was like an opening a portal. And I know it's been introduced by many mentors that I have been following recently. And I just got really excited because she helped to increase my confidence. I want to say that, I'm specifically not using the word validation, but it really increased my confidence, because, I've been brought up in a very logical mindset, especially as a literature major, wanting evidence by other people to prove your point, so there's still that part of me. And it really helped to read part of this. I haven't finished it yet, but it helped to read this, and maybe it's helping you too, which is why I feel called to share it today. Because the more that we step into that desire, and we're not even sure where it's leading, you know, and that is the beauty of it. We don't know, we might have inklings of the depths, but we're not sure. It's just like a poem that I've been, you know, ruminating on that hasn't yet formed. But it's like, you know, when I first went diving, you know, he took us through the shallow water. This was in Hawaii. And we went through the shallow water, and we slowly went deeper and deeper to the ocean floor. And, you know, we didn't go that deep because we weren't certified, but to get into that depth in a slow, purposeful way was super safe for those of us that felt scared. And it also like started to open up. We saw the turtles, and we saw the different flora underneath, you know, in the beach, and it was just like fascinating. And you got used to the regulator and breathing through it, and you know, gaining oxygen through that, and it created this really nice depth of silence as we went deeper and deeper in. And that's that. I feel like that's us. You know, that's a complete analogy to ourselves. You know, the deeper you go, the more that your heart expands and opens, and it can get scary, and you might take a step back, but then you're going to take 3 steps forward. You know, it's this constant dance. You know, it's also like the child beginning to walk. You know, you first hold on to something. First you're on your knees crawling, right? And then you begin to hold on to something, and then you start to walk upright, and you fall, and then you cry, and you get up again. And that, I feel, is a story of our lives, you know. But now it's following our heart, not looking to someone to validate us. Even in this case, I was kind of, you know, just reading for just an opening, for understanding more. And I feel like that's okay, because we help each other to understand more. And as we get into those places, we realize we have so much wisdom, and we have so much in front of us, that I know when I was in those places of darkness, in those places of not even realizing, excuse me, or understanding my emotional template, I was still kind of like following and, you know, feeling like it was just my eyes. I couldn't use any of my other senses because I didn't trust them. But the more that I began to trust all of my senses and beyond into my psychic powers, that's when the landscape changed. That's when I was realizing information that I'm not sure how many people knew, but it didn't even matter because I knew. It began to help me to map out my life. And as it began to map out my life, I began to use it for the purposes and the benefits of others. And then everything shifted, like, okay, this is a collective feeling. These are things that my clients can use. These are things that you can use. You know, it's no longer a secret. It's an activation. And when we get to activating each other, then it's like this domino effect happens. But it can happen in your personal life to such an extent that you are completely aligned and balanced in all of your 12 chakras, you know, turning on your sacral chakra, your sexuality, your emotions, your confidence, your throat, your speaking, your singing. You know, there's light language with the rappers now. I mean, it's just, the landscape is immense. You know, it's so deep and so vast. And it's no longer, I don't feel it's any longer a hierarchy. We're moving away from the hierarchy into this kind of, you know, valleys and mountains. You know, it's just like it keeps growing, just like the frequency of music. You know, it just moves, and it goes up and down and wide and deep. And, you know, it's just so exciting. So today I just wanted to share that excitement with you of feeling, you know, just like that lyric said to me. I kept singing it in my mind. I said, I gotta get on this podcast and share it with today, because the logic has drowned in the sea of emotion. You know, like, allow the logic to just move away. And sometime in the experience, like I just had, you know, I get into an experience and I get just blown away. You know, I'm just like sweat with emotion, you know this, you know, in these feelings of love, you're swept away and it's just like, it's overwhelming, and you don't even know where you're going, and you just keep following. And when you take a step back and reflect sometimes and process, sometimes you're like, oh my God, all these thoughts come up, and you know, everything's bubbling up. Yet, if you permit yourself to go back to that space of pure love, it's like, that's euphoria. That is orgasmic. That is a portal opening in your life, because that's all there is. In the 8 chapters I've read, it's all about love, loving yourself, trusting the next step, trusting that there is love in all beings. We're not just talking about human beings, in all beings, allowing the wisdom of your pets and other animals and plants to talk to you. This is ascension. This is the 5th dimension. This is manifesting at lightning speed. This is allowing the God source within you to lead you to your dreams. You are the creator of your own life. And, you know, connecting that with sexuality as a creation and a birthing process of you yourself is like, whoo, it's incredible. So I just wanted to share this depth of emotion with you, because the emotions are the key to opening your heart, to realizing that you have everything already. You have your own wisdom. And if this is resonating with you, connect with me, schedule a 15-minute chat if you'd like. Write poetry, paint, you know, follow your heart into that amazing relationship that you're desiring with yourself and others. It's there. And sometimes we don't even know what the next step is. And I would invite you to just write it down, write down what you're feeling, write down that you're so confident of yourself, write down that you are sexy and you are an amazing human being. Sometimes just affirming that to ourselves, you know, makes a world of difference. Do that yoga routine for 5 minutes that will then continue into a 20, 30 hour and a half, whatever you're desiring yoga routine. This is where it's at. It's about you taking the steps and believing in yourself. This is the 5th dimension to me. It's that confidence that we can change the world when we collaborate together. You know, this book that I might have mentioned to you, I was looking for authors as of last week, and you know, this past week it all just came together. Everyone just came on board. We're starting our first meeting, and I'm so excited. It's going to be, you know, as amazing as I feel this book is that I'm reading, Bringers of the Dawn by Barbara Marciniak. You know, just like, you think it happens because you believe in it. You believe in the power of your thought and the feelings you have in your own heart. We are all called to do something that is extraordinary. And when we take that next step, the universe supports us, the Palladians support us, the Arcturians support us. You know, we are just supported. Our soul family shows up. And you might feel people are moving out of your life, are dropping out, and that's completely cool, because everybody gets to go on their own journey. And when we send them love, just like, you know, I'm a mom, and every day my kids go out, go to school, see their friends, decide to just step out for themselves. And I send them my love every moment, because I believe in them and I know that they are doing something amazing every moment of the day, as you are. So today I send you my heartfelt love in a sea of deep, deep emotion. And I invite you into that watery space of this unending, crashing waves, and the calm waters and the shallow waters and all of the waters in between, because this is where it's at. This is where your wisdom lies. So I'm inviting you into the space of creation. Thank you, thank you, thank you for listening. Namaste, Shanti, Shalom.